Hi everyone, it's Randy. So I'm here with my June update, a little late, but I wanted to go over my FFOs. I have some fully finished objects to share with you guys. My whips, a very small haul, and I also joined a couple of challenges or stitch-alongs on Facebook. I joined the one challenge on the Cross Stitch and Discuss 2 group, and I'm also going to participate in the Stitch Mania August stitch-along, where they're stitching any charts with letters or words and so on. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to stitch for those in August, and I'm going to do some tags. I've been very bad about doing the tags, and I love watching everybody else do the tags, so I'm like, well, I should do the tag and so people can get to know me a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the newest tags and kind of work my way back, see how far back I want to go. So I think today I'm going to do Katie the Stash Queen's tag and Teresa Little Stitcher's tag. So I'm going to start with those two. So I have a lot that I want to go over, so hopefully this won't be too long. But my first thing I want to show you are my FFOs. My first one is actually a start and a finish in June. I worked on this at the beginning of June, and this is a Lizzie Cake design. It's Live, Laugh, Love, and I did this on 18 count off-white Aida, and this is what it looks like. Some people might have seen this on Facebook. I don't know if I did put it on Instagram, but I'm pretty sure I put it on Facebook. So, and I'm sorry that the words are backwards, but I don't know how to flip them on this webcam. So it says live well, love often, love deeply. And what I did was I switched out all of the thread colors except for this purple here and the L and the V and the E, the U, and the little swirlies down here. This purple is just a DMC. I think it's 550, but all the rest of these are Mo's Sales cottons. So let me tell you which ones I used. I have it on my phone, so bear with me. Okay, so this green color here, this one, and it's in the leaves, and it's down here, and it's right here. This is a Lizzie Cake, C-A-Y. The words well, often, and deeply. It's like a brownish, tannish color. This is Sven from her Frozen series that she did. The red here, or the pinkish red in Laugh, and the flower, that's Poppy. The background here, here, and here is Scarlet Witch, and then this color here is Medium Teal. So let's get that closer so you guys can see the colors. I purposely chose colors without a lot of variegation, because I didn't want it to take away from the design, because it did call for Weeks Dye Works, which a lot of the Weeks Dye Works are subtle. So that's what I was going for with this. So it's not a huge amount of variegation, but it's really it came out really. I'm very happy with the way it came out. I really like stitching with Mo's floss. So, and I did a No So Cute. This fabric here I bought at AC Moore. It's pretty pink, and then my cute little ribbon, which I was just super excited when I saw this ribbon. I got so many comments on my picture about how well the ribbon matched the colors and the design, and that was an accident. I just happened to find this ribbon. I want to say at AC Moore, but I'm not 100% sure. And I used the tutorial that I watched both Tara and Carolyn's, and I took a little something from both. And I do want to thank the ladies, both Carolyn and Tara, for doing those tutorials, because I know they're a lot of work, and I know that they take a lot of time. So I do want to thank you, because I love this finishing idea, and I don't know if I would have found it on my own. So thank you. And on the bottom, I did make little feet. They're just little plastic clear beads, and then I used a regular pin, like a sewing pin, you know, with the ball heads, and I just used white. And it stands up really good. I wanted to make a bow like Carolyn did on hers, but I can't make a bow. I had a really hard time with that. So, yeah, so it's just no bow right now. So we'll see if I can find an easy bow to do. All right, so that's my first one. My other fully finished object is another No-Sew cube it was my first Clouds Factory and only Clouds Factory that I've done so far, was my Patriots. I did this on 14 count light blue Aida, just for everyone to remember. So that's what it looks like. And this is the fabric that I bought. It's not completely done. I still have to finish this banner, like this part that goes around the edges, and make it look a little nicer. But I wanted to just show you guys the fabric that I got. So this is almost done. I just gonna kind of have to clean it up, make it look a little nicer, but I wanted to show it to you guys. Very happy with this. I'm very excited. Football season's gonna be here before you know it. So, unfortunately, I love football, but that means the end of summer, so I can wait a little while for the football season to start. And my last fully finished object was not as successful as I was with the two snow soap cubes. This was one of Tara's tutorials that she did, where you can mount your project on a wood block, and it had nothing to do with her tutorial. I cut my pattern too short, but it was a freebie, so I'm going to stitch it again and do this fully, this finishing technique again, and hopefully it'll come out a little bit better. But I wanted to show it to you guys anyways, because it's not horrible, but you can clearly see that my sides are too short. But this is, There's No Place Like Home from, of course, The Wizard of Oz, and all DMC. It's on 28 count Charles Craft linen. And this is just a piece of wood that I painted red that I got at AC Moore, and it's got the little lips and stuff. And I wanted to get some trim to put around here, but once I cut it too short, I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'll just wait until I do it again and finish it. So, yeah, this is easy. I think it took me half a weekend to do, so it won't take that long. And this is a freebie on the Little Stitcher. I'm not sure. I'll link it down below in case some of you haven't seen this yet. She's does primitive designs, obviously, from looking at this, you could probably tell. So those are my 3 FFOs that I completed. So I'm very happy with that. Now for my webs. I worked on a couple of different ones. So I did that Lizzie Cake one. Then I was going away. Hold on one second. I'm not looking away from you guys. Okay, I think I have them all. I just want to make sure I had all my whips. So I went away at the beginning of June after I finished that one. It was the second weekend in June. I went on an overnight trip down to Mohegan Sun to see the New Kids on the Block and TLC and Nellie, which was a lot of fun. And I wanted to bring another small with me. And I had this one that I got at Yankee Cross Stitch. And let me show it to you guys so you remember. It was Don't Cry Because It's Over, Smile Because It Happened. And this was a kit, and this came with the fabric, and it came with 30 count natural linen. I'm doing this with all the recommended DMC, not Weeks Dye Works, but the DMC. And it came with its own little embellishments, but I don't know what that is. Sorry, that's my phone. I will put that on silent. It has a little butterfly and some beads, but I don't know where they went. That's all right. But I'll show you guys what I have on it so far. This is what I have got done. So that I did that in like a weekend, or maybe a little bit more than a weekend. It's my needle minder. It's a book with the pages shaped like a heart. I've got most of my needle minders I get from Stitching Creations, I think is what it's called. I'm really bad, I'm sorry. On Facebook. I'll link her down below too. So that's what I got done on that. Then Storytime sampler. Oh, Frosted Pumpkin Storytime sampler, right? I love Frosted Pumpkin. I stitched their Halloween Town chart last year, which I loved. I stitched Tea Time a couple months ago for my mother. And I've been stitching on the Storytime sampler since January. And I actually got on a roll, and I finished my Wizard of Oz block, and I finished the Charlotte's Web block with no issues. And then on June 1st, Peter Pan came out, and I was going to stitch on it, and I was going to stay caught up, and I'm stitching, and I found a mistake in the frame. And I was like, "Urgh." So these frames, oh man, I like stitching inside. Stitching the insides, I don't have any problem with. But stitching these frames, I just have such issues with. So I can't decide if I want to unstitch the whole frame and just redo it, I don't know if I want to just, you know, kind of try to work around my mistake. I don't know. So this is what I got done so far. And so, yeah. So I put it down. I haven't picked it back up. This is what I got, the whole thing so far. This is on the recommended fabric. So, yeah. So I put this down for now, and I'll go back to it eventually, but that's where I am with that. My last whip, I'm very excited to share with you guys. So last August, I started my first Heaven and Earth design. It was The Forgotten by Cindy Nielsen. So it was all black and white. And I was stitching on an 18 count. And I got about half a page done. And I put it down for some reason. And I've never picked it back up. I don't know why, but I haven't. I don't know if it was just using all the same colors. I thought that kitting up one with only 15 or 16 colors to see if I liked it would be better than kitting up an entire Heaven and Earth design with 80, 90 colors and then finding out I don't like stitching on them. I don't like it. So, but I don't know if I just got bored. I was having trouble with the Krennic. I'd never stitched with metallics before, at least not to that extent as it was in this design. So I don't know if that turned me off. I'm not really sure. So anyway, so I put it down and I was stitching on other things. And then the Cross Stitch and Discuss group on Facebook decided to have a Heaven and Earth design stitch along. That was going to start on December 1st. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Do I really want to start another one? And I was like, So I pulled out the one that I wanted, and I'll show it to you guys in a second. And I went through my stash of DMC, and I had more than half of what I needed. So then I went and I got the rest at probably AC Moore or Michael's. So then I was like, oh, I want to stitch it on the recommended fabric because they recommend 25 count. So I bought a piece from 123 Stitch, and I was super excited. So then you have to decide, you want to stitch, over 2, 1 over 1, 2 over 1, full crosses, 10 stitch. You got to decide. So I tested all the different stitches, and I decided to go with 2 over 1. So I did that, and I hated it. So I unpicked all that, and I redid it with 1 over 1. And the stitches are so small that if you make a mistake or you miscount, it's so hard to unpick it. And when you're stitching a 10 by 10 square that has 13 different shades of blue, and you make a mistake and you try to figure out where your mistake was, I don't know, it was just giving me a headache, and I wasn't enjoying it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to 18 count. I've seen a lot of beautiful Heaven and Earth designs stitch on 18 count. That is what I'm most comfortable stitching on. That's what I'm going to do. And I happen to have a piece of, those long, big tubes of Ada fabric you can get like at, AC Moore Michael. So I had that in my closet. I pulled it out. I cut up, I cut the size that I needed, and I restarted. And that was back on, I want to say like the 17th, or let me see. I remember because it was a Thursday night. I was sitting here, I just wanted to start stitching on it. So it was the 18th, yeah, June 18th. So I started. And this is what I have so far. Oh, actually, let me show you what it is. That would probably help. It is a Hannah Lynn design. It is mini bookworm Ferry. And that's what she's going to look like. You can't really see, like this all in here, this lighter color here, that's all like different, like teals and greenish blue. But it's kind of hard to see it on here. You can clearly see the beautiful colors that are in the Ferry. So like this right here, this top corner, it's like, there's literally like 15 different shades of blue in this project. Like you can see, these are all the different colors that it takes. So what I did was I made a copy of all of the symbols in all of the different colors, and I put them up at the top of my bobbin box in numerical order, and then I have all my bobbins in numerical order. So that is how I kitted up my thread for this project. So let me show you what I have done so far. Isn't it beautiful? I love it. I love how it's coming out so far. This is almost finished with page 1. I have to finish this column, and then I have one more column, and I'll have finished my first page of my very first Heaven and Earth design. Well, second one that I've started, but you know, I am going to finish this one. And I hopefully, once I have this done, I'm hoping to go back to that one and finish it also. But you can see it's going to be pretty big. I think I left 4 inches all around. You can see that I don't grid, but I do park. Thank you to Carolyn, I should say. She helped me with parking. So yeah. And I have my gem in the hologram needle minder. That's a little bit of a glare. Any 80s child out there probably knows who Gem and the Holograms are. So yeah, so hopefully so part of the one challenge on the Cross Stitch and Discuss group was pick one whip and work on it from July 12th, July 12th to July 31st. So I've chose this, and so far I've stuck to it, even though it's only been 3 days. So hopefully by the time you see this, I'll have page 1 done, definitely, and then hopefully most of page 2. So yeah, so those are my whips. So I'm very excited about this one. And I've worked on that steadily since the 18th. I have not had the urge to put it down. So I'm just going with it until I lose my stitchy bug on it. So for August, I'm going to participate in the Stitch Mania challenge or stitch along or whatever whatever you'd like to call it. And again, like I said, that is stitching on whips or starting a project that have words in it. So I'm going to work on 2. One I already showed you, which was the Lizzie Cake, this one here. And I also would like to get some progress done on the Stitchrovia one that I've been working on that you guys have seen before. Let me just remind, in case you have or you forget what it looks like. Oops. Get rid of that glare. Hold on. Oh, let's see. Oh, there we go. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it looks to give you a little bit of a reminder. So again, it's dance like no one's watching, sing like no one's listening, live with no excuses, love with all your heart, laugh until you ache, never stop dreaming. And this is a Stitchrovia design on Etsy. She has a shop on Etsy. She has a lot of cool designs. And this, just as a reminder, because I haven't done anything on it since I showed it to you guys the last time. But this is what it looks like. And this is 18 count Aida. Excuse the wrinkle mess because it was in the hoop. And you can see. So what I'd like to get done for August is I would like to finish down here in Dreaming, the little swirly on this side here. And then I would like to start part of the border. What I'd like to do is stitch the border in sections, because if I wait and I leave the border for the end, I'm not going to finish it because I'll get bored and I'll never finish the border. I just know myself. So I'm going to stitch the border in sections, I think. Stitch on it a little bit, like have a goal of so much of the border to get done, and then maybe come up and work towards the top. So that's my goal. So that's what I'm going to work on in August, these 2 pieces that have words in it. All right, so my small haul, the reason that I have such a small haul, and they'll continue to be small for the next few months, is we booked a cruise to go on at the end of November, so I'm going to try to save all my money for that. So I'm going to try not to spend a lot on stitchy stuff, but I can't put myself on a complete stash diet, because then if I see something and I want it, or I need something, and I tell myself, no, you can't do that, you can't get it, then I want it even more. So this way, if I put myself like on a limited stash diet, I think it'll work better for me. So let me show you the little bit that I do have. The first thing are fabric. I got my hand by, let's try that again. My monthly fabric from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Last month I did not have my May one yet, so this was May. It's a deep purple. It was Highland Heather. And it is as purple as it's showing. This is 28 count Monaco. And then my one for June was Fruit Punch. Really pretty. Perfect. Okay, so I got those. And I have one more piece of fabric that I found at Hobby Lobby. 18 by 27 piece. 28 count lamb's wool Lugana, which Carolyn's talked a lot about in her videos. And it was $20 at Hobby Lobby, and then I had a 40% off coupon. So it only cost me $11. So there's that. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but it's a nice piece of fabric. I bought 2 charts, one from Clouds Factory. I wanted to try a Boscono. Again, people have talked a lot about these Bosconos, and I wanted to try one. So I wanted to try one that wasn't really expensive, just in case I didn't like it or I couldn't figure out how to put it together. So I bought the Clouds Factory Cinderella one. This is black and white, but I think most people have seen it. So we have Prince, Cinderella, the castle, mouse, and fairy godmother. So I just thought it was cute, look in the carriage. So I'm going to do that. I don't know when, but hopefully soon. I did have the fabric picked up for it, though, so I'll share that with you. It's one that I got from Mo's Sales. It's the 18 count one. So I'm going to do it on that. I just thought that was really pretty. So I'll be able to show that to you guys when I start it. And then the last chart I bought was Heaven and Earth design, which I certainly didn't need, but I loved this pattern, and I've been seeing it, I've been eyeing it for a while, and I'm like, I'm just going to buy it. It's a mini. I like to buy all my minis. I bought a couple of, no, I think I only have one regular size chart, which I don't know when I'll ever do that, but. So the one that the Heaven and Earth design that I bought was this one. It's another Hannah Lynn design. No, I actually think this is Jasmine Griffin Beckett. And it's the Wizard of Oz characters with her, but her girls, I should say her girls dress up as the Wizard of Oz. So, that is my haul. So, the next thing that I'm going to do is the tags. Alright? So, I have them written down on here. So, the first one I'm going to do is the Stash Enhancement tag by Katie. And she said, what is your favorite pattern in your stash that you haven't started yet? What has kept you from starting it? So I couldn't decide. So I thought I would show you a kit that I have that I've wanted to stitch for a while, and a chart, like a chart out of a pattern book or something. So the kit that I would like to someday do is a Dimensions kit, and it's called Ballerina Dreams. And it is a full coverage kit. Stitched on 18 count, I believe. I'm almost positive it's 18 count, so we'll go with that. What has kept me from starting this is it's a kit. So when you do a full coverage kit like this, there's always the fear of running out of the thread. And then it's one of those kits where there's I'm having a really hard time talking tonight, aren't I? Full crosses, half stitches, and then different numbers of threads for the different, effects and stuff. So that's what has kept me from starting this. But maybe now that I've done my Heaven and Earth design, maybe I'll get the urge to do this and finish it. All right. Now the chart that I really want to do is out of the Leisure Arts book, Disney Home, and it had 6 Disney classic designs. And this is the one that I really want to do, and it's Sleeping Beauty and being kissed by her prince. And the reason I haven't done this one, I'm only going to show you a part of the chart just because you won't get anything off just part of it, is this. This here, all one color. I am the type of stitcher that gets bored stitching on blocks of color like that. So it just makes me a little nervous. So that is part of the reason why I haven't stitched this one. So for those of you who've never seen this book, this came out, I want to say like 2002. Yeah, 2002. You'll see there's 4 here. So you've got the Jungle Book, Sleeping Beauty, Peter Pan, which I really like to do this one, and Cinderella, which I'd really like to. I actually started this and stopped it. I'd restart it though. And then on this side, there's Dumbo and Bambi, which I've stitched. I'll show it to you guys. It's a little dingy because I never got it framed, but that's my. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but when you take out something you stitched a long time ago, and you just look at it and go, wow, I can't believe I did that. That's how I feel sometimes when I look at my finished work. I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. I can't believe I did that. So yeah, so that's my Bambi. So cute. I'd like to restitch this like on a blue fabric or something, because this was I stitched this a long time ago before I knew all the different fabrics and stuff. So it would be pretty, so it looked like they was like outside or something. So yeah, so that's my Bambi. That's the only one out of this book that I stitched. I cheated a little bit, and I pulled out another book too, because I would like to, this is my Disney Princess, Leisure Arts Princess Collection. It has all the princesses in here. Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. It has Jasmine, Belle, Little Mermaid. And I've never stitched anything out of here. I don't know why. Like, this is so cute. Like, look at this one. Snow White, Ferry, of them all. So someday I'd like to stitch out of this one too. So yeah. So that is my question. My answer to my first question. To the first question, what is your favorite non-patent item in your stash? Favorite non-patent? I'd probably say my needle minders. I didn't know what a needle minder was this time last year. I was looking on Facebook and I saw these. Everyone had these things attached to their fabric, and I was like, I don't know, what is that? And then I figured out needle minders, and now I have a whole bunch, and I don't think I could stitch without them, actually. So I definitely probably would say needle minders. What do you have the most of in your stash? Patterns, floss, fabric, other, like beads and stuff. I would definitely say patterns or charts. I feel like when I say patterns, everybody's making fun of me because I am told I have an accent. So I try not to say patterns anymore when I'm doing my videos. I try to say charts, even though that probably sounds funny to people too, but that's all right. So I definitely have more patterns than anything. I definitely built up a little bit of a fabric stash and floss. I mean, I've always had a big DMC collection. I've never been one where I wanted to like have every DMC color. I'm lucky. I have an AC. I literally have an AC Moore, a Joann's, 2 Joann's, and a Michael's, very close within half an hour. Like not even. Like it might take me a half an hour to get to the Joann's in Saugus, and that's if there's really bad traffic on Route 1. And I have a Hobby Lobby that's less than an hour away from me, so I'm very lucky when it comes to having access to DMC floss. But I have built up a little bit of a specialty floss collection, especially with all my Moe's sales that I've collected over the last year. Besides your L&S or the big box craft stores, where's your favorite place to buy? I've ordered from 123 Stitch a couple of times, which I really like. I like their service is really good. eBay, I've been very lucky on eBay, knock on wood, if you're superstitious. And Etsy, I've discovered a couple of different charts on Etsy. So. Name one item you've purchased that was not meant for cross stitch you have repurposed for your craft. I actually have 2 that I wanted to share with you guys. One is the scrapbook things that I hold my whips and Kit projects in. I couldn't cross stitch without these. This keeps me organized, keeps everything in one place. I love these. I actually discovered a different type. They're actually in the art section of AC Moore, and like they're these ones. And they, instead of like snapping or tying or anything, they're like almost like a like a little, I don't know what you call that, but they kind of like just sit. And what I like about it is that they also have this pocket, so I could put my chart in here, if I wanted to. So I really like that. They're a little bit more expensive than the scrapbooking ones, but I like them. I use my coupon on them. I also discovered a little one, this size, that I keep my for my Heaven and Earth design. I keep my scissors, my stylus for my iPad, my thread heaven, and my needle threader, because I have my bobbin box that has all my thread and everything, and I don't put my project away. I know that's bad, but it's in my room. I keep it like nice, up high, nice and neat. I don't have any pets. I don't have any kids. I don't have to worry about anybody coming in my room and touching it or anything. So I kind of just leave it out. So this is a great place to just keep all my stuff like that. I don't have to worry about it. And my book light. So as you can see, I stitch with a hoop. So what I do, and I think I showed this before, but I fold my fabric down so it doesn't get on the front side. Just God forbid something were to get on my fabric, which I've never had happen. And then I can stitch. I can't stitch without this. Even if I am in a well-lit room, I still need this to stitch. So those are the two things that I've used. Sorry, I didn't mean to move the table. Name one item in your stash that you weren't able to purchase after seeing someone else with that item. Not so much one item, but one designer, Heaven and Earth. I was heavily enabled by Miss Amanda, Mrs. Milky Bar Kid, to buy Heaven and Earth designs. So probably that, and needle minders. I've seen people with needle minders on YouTube. So if someone asked you what was the one must-have patent that they had to have in their stash, which patent would you recommend? I think it would depend on what they liked, the level of difficulty they were looking for. Because if they were looking for something easy, I would say Frosted Pumpkin or Lizzie Cake. If they were looking for something hard, I would say maybe the Twisted Band Sampler, which is some people find it easy. It just specialty stitches, just really depends. Me personally, if I wanted to give someone a chart, I would probably do the Mary Poppins one that I just did, Practically Perfect, just because it's only a couple of colors. It's very easy to pattern to follow, and it's beautiful. In its simplicity, I just think it's gorgeous, and I just loved it. I loved stitching on it. It didn't take me long, so I think if I was going to recommend one chart that was simple and not very difficult, but comes out absolutely beautiful, that's what I would pick. So, and if someone asked you what one designer they had to check out to enhance their stash, who would it be? I don't know. I have a lot that I love. I love Lizzie Cake. I love Frosted Pumpkin. I love Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't know. A Country Cottage Needleworks. That's a lot. I don't think I could just pick one. So that is the stash enhancement tag. And then the next one is Teresa's tag. Do seasons affect your stitching? Do you stitch less in the summer? No. The seasons do not affect my stitching. I stitch at night. I work during the day. I stitch at night. Even on the weekends, if I'm not doing anything, I stitch at night usually. So it doesn't really affect my stitching, because I rarely stitch during the day. So even if it was nice out on a Saturday, I don't usually stitch during the day, whether it's summer or winter. So it doesn't really affect me. Do you prefer stitching with a lap stand on a floor stand or in hand? I stitch in hand because I stitch with a hoop, which I have showed you guys. Do you prefer stitching with a hoop, Q-snap, or frame, or in hand? I use a hoop, the plastic hoops. I have Q-snaps, and I've used Q-snaps. I find them heavy in comparison to the hoop. Frames, I bought a split dowel frame that I hated. I just couldn't stitch on it. So I'm very leery of buying frames. I know people love like the Millennium frame and the Quantum frame, and I'm just so afraid of spending that much money on a frame and then not liking it. So I've stitched with hoops since I was, 13, so it works for me. So I'm going to keep on doing it. Do you use a stitching light or no additional lighting. If yes, do you use a floor light or a clip-on light? As I showed you, I use a clip-on light. I have this one that I use when I'm stitching on Ada or 28 count. I use this one. If I'm stitching on something really small or stitching over one, I'll use this one. This is also a book light, but it has a magnifier with it. So I don't usually need a magnifier, even with really small count. But if my eyes get tired or I'm having a hard time seeing it, I can just use this for a little while. And then if I don't need it anymore, I can move it out of the way. So I got these both at Michael's. All right. Do you use a magnifier? I just demonstrated that. Do you stitch one-handed or two-handed? One, because I stitch with a hoop. Do you prefer to stitch alone in a quiet place or around family and in a living area? I do both. I can stitch in the living room. I share an apartment with my mom and my sister. You know, a lot of times at night, me and my sister will hang out and watch a TV. You know, TV. We watch all the same type of TV shows. So I'll sit in there with her and we'll watch TV and I'll stitch. I come in my room and stitch. Doesn't matter. I don't have a preference. And do you travel and stitch? Would you do stitch on public transit, or is it a home hobby only? I very rarely have to take public transportation. I live very close to where I work. It's only about a 15-minute drive. So I don't have to take the public transportation. If I do, it means because I'm going into Boston, and usually because I'm going to do something, so I wouldn't take it with me. If I'm going away somewhere, like overnight, I'll take it with me, but I don't take it with me just to go to like the doctors or the hairdressers or anything like that. So I mainly stitch at home, but if I was to go away somewhere, I would take it with me, so probably something small. And those are the two tags. So I hope you guys enjoyed my tags. I enjoyed doing them, and I've enjoyed watching everybody. So I'll tag them both the original videos down below. So if you guys want to check out the original tag videos, you can. And if you'd like to do the tag, if you haven't already, I tag you. I hope everyone enjoyed my video, and I will talk to you guys next month. Thanks. Bye.